Oh, where am I again? Oh, it's you rascal.
What's up, y'all? What you folks up to right now?
You can't just run off like that, Henny. Granny's not as spry as she once was.
Henny, I'm not...
Aren't you cold, darling? You never knew how to dress appropriately. I remember back in preschool how you would put your undies on your head.
I'm sorry, but I think you're mistaking me for somebody.
It's about time you made it back here, Henny. I'm feeling a bit out of sorts today. Why am I even standing here? Aha! Did you get... Do you have those, Help me out here, Henny.
I'm sorry, I'm Aiden. Aiden. And I really have to get going.
Pills. That's it. You were supposed to bring me my pills. Ran out this morning. And my mind's all sort of foggy.
I'd like to help, but I... Okay, let's see. Where do you usually keep these pills, ma'am?
No matter, Henny. You were supposed to refill my script at the pharmacy.
Pharmacies aren't really open for business these days.
God, I've forgotten everything. Ah, I know. This group of nice boys came this morning for coffee. No, it was for tea. And they made me... I lent them my last bottle. They had such funny masks on their faces.
You were robbed by renegades?
Ah, yes. That might be what they called themselves. But they were nice boys.
Alright, don't worry, Grandma. I'll ask those boys to give it back. Where did they go after that?
Somewhere over there. To those abandoned apartments behind me, I guess. Darling, don't you boys get up to too much mischief together. I'll be waiting with a hot cup of tea by the windmill south of the VNC Tower.
I thought that Killian was a harmless eccentric. Turns out he was...
What the hell is that? He sure ain't it, right? Take heed and bear witness.
It's a source of
To
hope.
me, Regis the Herald. How well do you know your fellow citizens, huh? I recognize you. You are Aiden. I, as I'm sure you well know, am Regis, the Herald. I behold and recount all that goes on in this city.
Herald? Is that a real job?
Not only is it real, it is of the utmost importance. Since the fall of traditional media, where else would the citizenry get their information?
Yeah, I see. What were you before this? Farmer?
Bite your tongue, sir. I was a former VNC News editor-in-chief, a most trustworthy and well-informed source of the day's news.
Is this why you're standing in the shadow of the VNC tower? Do you miss bossing people around?
Let's see if you know more about the good people of Villador than simply to mock them. I have 4 simple questions to ask you about some of our more interesting citizens. Answer them correctly, and I will believe you a worthy member of our community.
Sure, I've met a lot of people.
Your first question, then. Who is the shadowy figure that pulls the strings in the bazaar? A dealer in, shall we say, ill-gotten goods?
I think you're talking about Hubert.
That nincompoop? Hardly. I thought you practically lived at the bazaar. Sorry. Come back when you've done your research. Take your time, Pilgrim. Thorough research shouldn't be rushed.
Keep kissing me. Let me go.
Free People's Radio is more than just a broadcast. It's a source of
Can't let darkness and ignorance reign. Ignorance leads to repeating the same mistakes over and over again. The definition of insanity. And I don't need no mohawk to know that.
I wonder what will come of it.
Wait, what are you ranting about, mister?
Ranting? Son, I'm trying to safeguard our collective memory. I'm only trying to preserve history.
Seems like a big task. Can one man even do that?
I have a good background for that. For 30 years, I was a tourist guide. After the fall, I founded Villador's Historical Conservation Society.
Doesn't seem to be much to conserve around here anymore.
Thank the renegades for that. Still, more than ever, we must remember our past. We must keep track. Otherwise, we'll slip into the Dark Ages for good. We can't build a future for humankind if we don't know our history. What do you say I ask you 2 or 3 questions about that? See if you've been paying attention. See if you do know our past. So, you ready to talk history now?
I can try.
Good. Let's start with one of the defining moments of our history. A tragic event that had such an impact, it still defines how the city looks today. Here goes. What event went down in history as Black Monday?
It's a mass shooting that happened in Houndfield on March 6, 2024.
Wrong. You should listen more to people and their stories. It shouldn't be hard. Everybody here lost somebody during Black Monday.
I'll try to do better next time. Is something wrong?
No, nothing. I'm talking to myself, that's all.
I mean, I can see something's the matter, but okay.
It's just, there's nothing that can be done. There are too many of them.
Too many who?
Renegades. Degenerates. 6 months ago, they kidnapped my son, Rook, and they forced me to produce drugs for them. I was the chemistry teacher in school before the epidemic. I held one of them back, grade.
But what about your son?
They're holding him hostage. If I'm late with the next batch of drugs, they'll kill him.
Maybe what these bandits need is a lesson.
But there's a whole band of them.
I've faced far worse odds than that. I'm not a fan of kidnapping.
Will you help me?
Yeah, I'll try. Where are they keeping Rook?
In a military building, overlooking the canal south of Muddy Grounds, near Culvert Island. The entrance is on St. Paul Boulevard, past the wrecked car carrier. Just be careful. I went there myself once, trying to free my boy. They caught me. Then later brought me one of Rook's fingers. As long as these bastards are alive, they'll never leave us alone.
I'll be careful.
I'll follow you. Wait outside for you to come out. What's your name?
Aiden.
Thank you, Aiden.
Frank's calling for the return of the Night Runners. I wonder what's coming.
Shut your fucking mouth, Ollie.
They must have found her out. Those renegades are animals. Who knows what they do to her?
I don't even want to think about it.
Hey, everything okay?
What's it to you, huh? Ain't none of your business.
Ollie, cool your jets. Don't you know who this is? It's that Pilgrim guy, Aiden. Well, since you asked, one of our own, Kareen, is undercover at the nearby renegade camp.
A spy?
Right. Volunteered to walk into the lion's den. Been given regular reports, then nothing.
Not a peep for days now. It ain't like her. They caught her for sure.
Yeah, thanks for the expert analysis, Mr. Doom and Gloom.
Someone needs to get in there and find her.
Why don't you go in after her?
No can do. Those renegades would sniff us out in a second, and we'd be toast.
Yeah, those are fucking renegades, man. Just 'cause I'm a guy doesn't mean they wouldn't rape me or something.
Yeah, I see your problem.
Jeez, Ollie, you got serious problems.
I'll go check in on her.
Oh, man, that'd really help us out. Look, I got these papers that'll get you into the camp.
Better him than me.
See what I got to put up with?
Just give me the papers.
I'll be honest with you, I did a quick job forging these. Anyone taking a third look could figure it out. Which means you gotta work fast once you're in. You okay with that?
I'm good.
Awesome. Now, check it. The Renegades' camp is tucked between the office towers.
Okay. How am I supposed to recognize her?
Well, ain't a lot of women in these places. But she's gotta know you're on our side. Use the code word phrase, "Have you milked the goats?" And she'll respond, "Goat milk is too sour for my taste." And you'll know it's Corrine.
Goat milk is too... What? What kind of code phrase is that?
Pretty awesome, right?
I came up with that, man. That was all me. 100%.
Okay, whatever.
are to be treated by priority of medical condition. Medical personnel are able to return to their stations. Biomarkers at all times.
I don't know how to thank you. Will this do it?
Come on, Boone. We found this wicked spot. Fish practically jump into your boat.
Afraid to get a little seasick, Boone?
If you want me on your boat, very
What then?
A seasick peacekeeper? Your central command is based on a friggin' ship. You've never been on that?
The Missy, it was my home once, but no longer. Just the sight of it makes me queasy.
So you lived on the Missy. Boone, is it? What's the story with this ship?
Well, you see, I was serving on the Missy when it arrived. Come to resupply the army after the city got walled off. No other way to enter Villador than by going up the river at that point. But then, boom! So much shit went down, so fast. You think you're at a pop-up outhouse convention. Not just in the city, but the rioters stormed the ship. Caught us completely off guard. We were under siege on our own ship. Nowhere to go. But we weren't gonna let them get their grubby paws on our supplies. No, sir. So we started dumping them overboard.
How'd you get out of there alive?
Well, a man like me has special talents. Even the enemy respects them. So I escaped with my life. Eventually, we drove the rioters from the Missy, but I stayed even after the fall. Then Pat was gone, as was half the city, and the military split into two opposing factions. The colonel on one side, Jack Matt on the other. By then, Matt and his PKs had set up shop on the Missy and chased the colonel all the way to his stronghold at the dam.
Those were the times. Damn renegades everywhere now.
Sounds intense. Must not have been easy to drive the butcher and his men away.
No, it was quite the pitched battle. And I'm proud to say, I played a key role in ensuring our troops' victory. But when it was all over, despite my devotion, I'd had enough of life on a tin can. I needed solid ground to be away from a persistent source of chaos. And from that day forward, I have been unable to step foot on any sort of seafaring vessel.
That's quite a story. You still haven't told me why the rioters didn't string you up, or what this key role was. Are you a strategist, a gunner, a navigator?
I was the cook. Son, bullets may fill guns, steam a ship's engine, but I fill men's bellies, which allows them to carry on toward any goal. As for the rioters, they took one look at my greasy whites and passed me by. No one shoots the cook.
Anyone ever look a renegade in the eye?
Butch is our greatest enemy. He's responsible for the Black Monday bombings of the net.
Got you now, asshole! Over here!
Welcome, stranger.
What is this place?
I concoct and sell everything, from healing elixirs to powerful wards against the infected.
Snake oil, then.
You will address the Baba with respect.
Oh, will I?
Don't mind Corvus. He is, overprotective.
Tell me more about your so-called elixirs. By the looks of what's in these jars, someone's been scavenging graveyards.
You're talking about my ingredients, both rare and potent. I combine them to create wonders. Some emit a scent that can cause an infected to come running, no matter what lies in its path. Others, pheromones that can cause most infected to flee madly. And still others grant fists of fire that will burn an opponent with each blow.
Theatrics aside, I'm intrigued. Tell me about your healing elixirs.
I sell anything, from salves for the gravest wounds to potions that cure illness and disease. A young man like you might wish to try my virility boosting.
Pass. I have my doubts, but I'm willing to try some of these items.
I'm sure you'll be delighted. My elixirs are worth every coin.
And they're derived from monsters?
In part, yes. Some unusual mutations in rare creatures produce hormones with special properties. When I combine them with the right herbs and other compounds, I can create both powerful weapons and healing items. As it happens, I am running out of some key ingredients and could use some help. If you're willing to do some hunting for me.
Why don't you send this guy?
I am no errand boy.
Hush, Corvus. This is why we're running low on ingredients and customers. You keep scaring people away.
I'm not scared of monsters. Or your boy here.
It's settled then. If you can hunt, I'll buy what you bring me. You stand to profit handsomely.
What do you need?
First, the brain of the rare demolisher. It contains a special enzyme.
But how would you even know about that?
The answer to that question might well drive even a man as strong and resilient as you stark raving mad.
Right. Whatever. Where is it?
A demolisher considerably larger than others of its ilk has been sighted in the park, quite near. Bring me its head, and I'll pay you well.
One demolisher head. Coming up.